And we kick off tonight's pay-per-view with an NWA World's Tag Team Championship match. The first of 3 title bouts on our second-year anniversary Night of Champions. To the bullet points. And yes, Harrison Storm's return to the tag division has to be viewed as a positive. They regained the titles and they've already had 2 successful defenses. Last Wednesday, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens sent a message to both AMW and TNA management. The Naturals stole the ring gear of AMW and they want no part of the gut checklist. Champions know each other inside and out, but how well will they handle their lack of knowledge against the challengers? That could be the determining factor.
The opening contest for Total Nonstop Action Wrestling's 2-year anniversary show is scheduled for one fall and is for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. About to make their way to the ring from Japan, they're the team of Nosawa and Miyamoto.
Well, we've seen Nosawa on several occasions in the past. Miyamoto just made his debut on our Impact show. NWA legends in attendance, making their way to the VIP seating. You see Sarah Lee, Corsica Joe, there's Larry Zbyszko, there's a close-up of the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Harley Race, and yes, conspicuous by his absence after receiving that guitar shot from Jeff Jarrett last week on Impact, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
And their opponents, they're the current, reigning, and defending NWA Tag Team Champions of the World. They are Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm. They are America's Most Wanted.
Well, it's certainly appropriate that as we celebrate the 2-year anniversary, the Wildcat Chris Harris and the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm, they've got possession of the NWA World Tag Team Championship belts. Now, Harris and Storm, Don, they may not have possession of their ring gear after it was stolen by the Naturals, but the best tag team of the TNA era still has the gold.
This is going to be an interesting matchup, Mike, today, because this is a team of which they have no experience with, have not seen together, and this is going to be one of those challenges that comes along when you're the tag team champion. Now, the advantage has to go to Team All Japan. They know what they can do together, and they've probably seen more of AMW than AMW's seen of them.
Also want to point out that in attendance among the VIPs, the legends here at this second anniversary show, 1971 NWA Rookie of the Year, Mickey Doyle, not only here with the legends, also here for a separate personal reason that we will address later in this broadcast. Don, we also want to touch on maybe the most important and memorable moments of each of the wrestlers or tag teams of the first 2 years in TNA, and in my mind, when I think of AMW, I think of the first ever TNA Steel Cage match, June 25, 2003, when AMW defeated Triple X to win the NWA tag titles, and I believe at that point they established themselves as the top team today.
And you know what I think of, Mike? I think of the number 4. Within the 2-year anniversary, 4 times AMW has held the tag team title belt. That's more titles than anybody in the history of TNA. That's more titles than anybody in the X division and even in the heavyweight champions division. 4-time champions.
You see Miyamoto and the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm that started off in this tag match. We mentioned briefly at the top of the broadcast that Miyamoto made his TNA debut last week on Impact. It was in that international 6-way X Division matchup, brought immediate comparisons to the Great Muta, the Great Kabuki, including his use of the blinding colored mist that we just saw minutes ago.
I think another thing that Miyamoto has is a knowledge of the martial arts. The same thing with the style, and they're going to have an advantage. And we'll see how they do with their feet and their hands here, because one thing we know about AMW, they can adapt as well as anybody in the middle of the ring.
Miyamoto, 25 years of age, just 2 months shy of 3 years experience as a professional wrestler, and one of the most promising young talents wrestling in the Orient, wrestling in Japan today. Very even opening minute, almost a feeling out process. I felt like they were very tentative as Miyamoto and James Storm exchange moves with an advantage. Storm puts the tag in to his tag team partner, the Wildcat Chris Harris. Shoulder block right off the bat.
I wondered if James Storm didn't put some block there. As you see, lariat there by Wildcat Chris Harris as he just levels him. But I was wondering if maybe James Storm was a little uncomfortable. You know how when you're in the batter's box, you step out if you don't feel right. In this case, he was able to tag Wildcat Chris Harris. It's like he's going to evaluate a little bit from this end.
Nosawa in to lock it up now with Harris. Let's address the situation involving AJ Styles. AJ scheduled to wrestle Kid Cash tonight. Mid-ring collision. Bigger man, larger man. Wildcat takes down Nosawa. Immediately comes back, connects with a got a 2 count.
Oh, I talked about what they would do with their feet. You saw right there, Nosawa went right. Beautiful kick on the leg. Caught Wildcat Chris Harris by surprise, and he was kind of like cutting down the tree. Brought him down to his size.
Yeah, that follow-up move, the Shining Wizard. Shades of the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion we just mentioned earlier, talking about the great move, a great double team move here by AMW. Don, let's try and get into this situation with AJ Styles. Scheduled to defend tonight against Kid Cash, but that matchup is not going to happen.
No, Kid Cash has broken a bone in his foot here in TNA, and the TNA officials are not going to let him get in the ring. They don't want to risk further injury. I think it's a wise decision.
You know, AJ, on our website, TNAWrestling.com, made a statement about this situation when he was informed that Cash was not going to compete. It was pretty obvious that Cash down the line is going to get his title shot when he's healthy. And AJ said that he'd be more than happy to give him a shot at that point as we see the double team move. And the team from Japan doing quite well. The role of the challengers here for the tag titles.
Oh, like I said, these guys are familiar, and they're just catching AMW by surprise right here. Great flying over the ropes there by Miyamoto.
You know, AJ, the fighting champion that he is, says that he not only will be here tonight in that letter at our website, but officially he announced an open challenge to anyone, anywhere, to come and face him for the X Division title. Would you expect anything less from the phenomenal one?
I asked him about it. He said, Don, it's a 2-year anniversary. People have paid money to come out here and see me wrestle, and I'm going to do it.
Right, as well as spend that $9.95 for the pay-per-view, and the fighting champion says that he's issued the open challenge tonight. The championship belt, the X Division title, that'll be on the line, just like the tag titles are here in this opening matchup.
As you can see right here, that Miyamoto and Nosawa have got the momentum right here. It's almost like America's Most Wanted are confused. They can't get a measure on these guys. What they got to do is not worry about the styles of Miyamoto and Nosawa. They've got to worry about what got them to the dance, what got them 4 belts. They've got to worry about their own teamwork.
You know, I think back to those taglines, those bullet points at the top of the match, where we mentioned the unfamiliarity that AMW would have with this team from Japan, as Miyamoto just took the Wildcat and posted him outside, right into the steel ring post.
I'll tell you what, this guy has got unbelievable skills. As you know, when he came out, he could take the set of nunchucks. You saw what he could do with them. You know, he's a scary individual out there in the ring, and when you're not familiar with somebody like that, it makes him a very dangerous opponent.
Also have to question whether there is a distraction factor here, with the Naturals coming down, stealing their ring gear, as we saw AMW when they came out to the ring tonight, not wearing their usual ring attire. You wonder if that's maybe in the back of their mind, not fully concentrating on the task at hand. Another near fall for Team Japan as Nosawa almost put away the Tennessee Cowboy.
Well, the Naturals have kind of become their natural enemy, so to speak, and you're right. That's always got to be in the back of your mind, because they've proven to be very unpredictable. But here Miyamoto goes up. Oh, good teamwork there. Nosawa just sets up James Storm, and Miyamoto hits it perfectly.
Yeah, off the top rope, connects with the double sledge. Immediately back to the offensive, shoots him off into the ropes.
Oh, great move by the Cowboy, James Storm.
Head scissors by Storm, going to try and stop the momentum of the Japanese team. Sit out power bomb by Storm, but he looks spent.
Yes.
Looks like he's got to get over and tag AMW partner Chris Harris.
You know, you're not just tired physically out there, you're tired emotionally, because you're thinking about this all day long, and you're getting yourself psyched up. It's just a matter of just letting it come to you right here, and that's what the Wildcat's doing. He's doing what he does best.
Southpaw on the offensive. Left hands, left arm lariat as well. Now going to shoot Nosawa across. Quickly up to the shoulder. Just overpowered him. Power slam down. Pin attempt broken up by Miyamoto at 2.
I'll tell you what, he had to break it up right there, because, I mean, Wildcat put him down with a ninja. Look at the power of the Wildcat. Just picking him up. Oh, he should have been looking for Nosawa.
Cole Nelson bombed him down, but then Nosawa came out of nowhere. Goes for the
Did he get it?
Nope,
No.
just 2. A very even matchup. Nosawa and Miyamoto against AMW as the Tennessee Cowboy hits the power slam, but again, Miyamoto's there to save his partner Nosawa.
I'll tell you what, we've kind of lost track right now of who's legal and who's not. That's what happens when you get the mayhem like this, but Storm now collecting himself a little bit.
He caught the spear!
Oh, Miyamoto wisely, though, rolls out of the ring. These guys work so good together, and it's all coming together right now as the Cowboy nails the kick.
Caught the super kick. AMW, wait a minute. AMW emotions are proud of the asylum. Are they going to go for the death sentence?
Oh, we haven't seen this in so long.
They're going to bring the death sentence back.
The Nosawa right here. Here they go. He fought it.
Here's the pin. Count. 2.
It's over.
The winners of the match, and still World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted.
4 times NWA World Tag Team Champion. champions, and they put aside the challenge of the Japanese team, Nosawa and Miyamoto. How about that death sentence that AMW brings back?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I can't remember seeing that since the cage match. I mean, unbelievable. They brought it back, and right here you can see Miyamoto bringing out the nunchucks as AMW grabbed their belts. They know what happened. They just retained the titles. There's no need to keep this going.
Look out!
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, my
And we
God.
talked about it, and there they are. And they're in the ring gear of America's Most Wanted.
We're talking about the Naturals, Keith Stevens and Andy Douglas. What a vicious chair shot from behind as they attacked AMW on the entrance ramp.
Oh, they had no clue what was coming right there, as you could see.
Oh, no, look at this, Don. They're putting makeup. They're putting lipstick. That's lipstick.
Oh, that's just humiliation at its worst right there.
They're trying to not only humiliate them, they're trying to embarrass AMW, coming just seconds after America's Most Wanted keeps the NWA tag titles on this second anniversary show. Come on, this is over the line.
They're showing that they know how to use the psychological warfare as good as anybody as they're embarrassing AMW. I mean, this is getting out of hand.
And of course, they sent the message to AMW as well as TNA management. They want no part of being on the gut checklist, but this is taking it a bit far.
Oh, this is unreal right here as you see Jake Stevens just drilling the boot in his stomach. And they're right there. Look at that. Pulling on Harris. Andy Douglas. Unbelievable humiliation. While they're wearing the attire of America's Most Wanted.
On a night when AMW should be able to celebrate keeping the tag titles, their importance in the 2-year history of TNA, and the Naturals spoiled it. Let's send it to the back.